Hey everyone, I'm Candace.
I'm Latoya.
And I'm Sherelle.
And we are Sistas Unscripted.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We are completely unscripted, where we talk about all the things, all the shit, whatever we want, from the eyes of Black sisters. So stay and kick it with us.
Let's get into it.
So, well, you got your letter, or do you need your
No, I have
cracked phone?
Is this it?
Mm-mm. I wrote it.
She wrote
She probably wrote it in her cursive theater handwriting too.
Listen,
Not. Was I right?
No, actually.
I like your
Thank you very much.
I was wrong.
I like that you did it in pink too.
And I'm not a really big pink girl.
That's interesting.
But I liked the style of the pen. I am a very much, if I'm going to write, I like the flows of pens and how they feel. So,
Very theater geekish of you.
or just me.
Sure, Jan.
Let's hear it. Gotta love being the middle sister. All right. This is my little letter.
We're not starting that.
That's not even, I wasn't saying it negatively.
Okay.
Girl,
Okay.
stop projecting.
Oh, damn.
Maybe she was comparing because it's tiny in comparison to yours.
Oh, okay.
No, I just said a phrase. There's nothing on it.
No meaning behind it.
I totally get that. But I guess I hear a lot of people say little. You know, it's kind of like when someone gives you a gift and like it's not much. It's like, bitch, you gave me something. Thank you.
I hear that. But that wasn't this moment.
Okay.
I promise.
Continue.
Okay. Dear my 18-year-old me, the world is a roller coaster, yet I am not strapped in. Maybe I should hold with care, but my hands are busy in the air saying, I wish you were here. Do you remember saying that as you were crying, saying goodbye to high school, your boyfriend, and your safe space, the little theater, that made you feel like you were more human than an alien, an anomaly in the world? High school can make you feel like that. Did make you feel like that. Well, not just that. You are a Black girl in a predominantly white state, dwelling in most white spaces, than the one that reflects your beautiful Black skin. That reflect the stunning ways you curiously see the world and imagine the possibilities of what life can and will bring if you remain diligent to your dreams, to who you are, and to follow your heart no matter what. No matter what. Idealistically beautiful, the hope that dwells in your soul, despite everything you had to face up to this point of your life. The feeling of loss, of such deep pain and anguish, scarring loneliness and sleepless nights due to the thunderstorms that rush through your body as raindrops from your eyes, hoping it will wash away the sorrow. But it leaves you restless in the storm. And the understanding that despite all of this, you must rise, you must place one foot in front of the other day by day and face the cold chills, knowing or praying that you'll feel the warmth from the sun again. There's a reason people call you sunflower. There is a reason why people call you sunny or sunshine, because even at your lowest and your darkest, nothing can dim your shine. No, I don't want to cry. Nothing and no one will take away the light that you are. Do not forget that. You're so much more than those moments of storms. You are beyond moments. You are every moment, even when you don't know it. You don't try to be what you are not. You have always been strong. Yes, you will continue to face some unwanted demons, and you will face them head on. You will face them when your voice shakes and your body tenses up, when your mouth dries up and you start to forget words, but you push on anyway. You will feel uncertain and feel paralyzing fear, but you will and always decide to do it anyway, to show up anyway. To grant grace while holding people accountable. You are a leader who leads with empathy, compassion, and want liberation for all. You show up in a world that tries to tell you that they don't want you. So many backs turned, so many folks abandoned you, left out in the woods by yourself, that you always look up, searching for that North Star that guided you out of the woods, leaving behind once was for what is new. The even more powerful you, 2.2. You change and shift and let things die when it must. And that is not giving up. That is choosing you so others can choose themselves too. If and when those or that day comes when they too are faced with the question of liberation. You are more than a diamond. You are a pearl, not easy to come by. Remember that. You are more than you know right now. And you will learn, grow, make mistakes, get lost, get stuck, find the pieces, put them together, and come out of it ready for the next transition. You know what that is? Magic. Shine on, sunflower. Love me.
I love that. You know what? Okay. The thing that first came to my mind is I remember when you were younger, you had a really hard time expressing yourself. And I think it's beautiful that you you were very clear in what you wanted to say in this, which is not something that you had growing up. You hid a lot. I feel like you still do some of those things, but I think, again, like we said earlier, healing is it's not linear. You know, you're going to have your moments where you're, on top of the world, and other times you're just like, ugh, I'm revisiting this thing. I thought I just dealt with this 2 years ago. But I love that you're clear and like you are truly like authentically yourself. Like just even from the words of calling yourself a sunflower, and using like poetry almost in it to describe, what you were trying to say to your 18-year-old self.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Ugh, I feel very vulnerable. I don't always love that.
I don't know what to think. I think I don't really know what you guys experienced, or like Candace, when you say Latoya had a hard time self-expressing when she was younger, I don't know that version of you. Maybe that's something that you experienced after I left, but I don't know what you guys went through when William and I went with Dad. So it sounds like, I don't know. And I wish I knew, but I always looked at you as one of the strongest when it comes to us. Like, you have a different power about yourself that I don't even necessarily know how to explain. Like, I always feel like you just always had it. Like, you could always figure it out. And if you couldn't figure it out, you could, I don't want to say stonewall yourself through it, because that's
Shield, maybe?
no, that's not the word I'm looking for, but you could really bury through the shit to get it figured out. Where maybe Candace and I, we have to feel our way out, if that makes any sense. But hearing your letter, that's just what it just makes me feel like, yeah, you will always have it figured out, because you'll always get through the shit and fill it out. But it also kind of makes me sad too, because maybe you don't allow yourself to like give yourself this space to feel emotions when emotions need to be felt. And so maybe you have this deep vulnerability that needs to be exposed, and it's just crying and screaming to be seen. And maybe the world hasn't given you the I don't want to say the stage because that makes me feel like a drama geek, but maybe the world hasn't given you the stage to just let you cry, dude. Like just let you feel things because you've always had to be like the tougher, I'm going to get through this and I'm going to figure it out. Does that kind of make sense? And it does.
Makes perfect sense, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair to say?
It's fair to say. Yeah.
Well, she just said before you said, or we started talking about this, you said, I'm feeling very vulnerable right now and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, like in real time.
I mean, I don't. I mean, honestly, the only time I ever feel like I can actually do any of that is on stage. That's why,
You feel more human when you're on stage.
yeah, actually.
I fucking get it now.
Oh, did we have an awakening? Did we have a light bulb moment? What just happened?
Listen, you're still a fucking drama geek.
Forever, true and true.
However, I do have a little bit more of understanding why the connection for it. Everyone searches to be human. And if that's what makes you feel human, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting to hear your perspective, Sherelle, on me as a young person, because I was very much, because you were around though when oftentimes I was told like to speak up, or I would speak very softly, almost to the point of mumbling.
I felt like we all kind of had that though.
No, we all did.
Latoya was
That was really bad.
I remember like you couldn't understand anything she said. Like, and I remember mama and dad specifically saying, stop mumbling, use your words, or not use your words, but more or less
speak up.
Yes. More or less like, we can't understand what you're saying. Like you need to, speak up.
That's because I was afraid. I mean, I felt like I was getting so many different,
instructions.
yeah,
that were contradicting.
That yes, because it was like, don't talk back, don't, which we never did because that would be a massive mistake.
We would be brave.
I'm like, if you a Black family, you understand what that means. But then when they would ask me specifically, Dad would ask me to speak up. I'm like, I am I allowed to? Because if I do, then will I be reprimanded for it? And so it taught me very early on that my voice was not, I should not use it, or else punishment will follow. And when I don't use it, punishment follows. So I was like living in this.
You're damned if you don't.
Exactly. So not until theater, really, I mean, I tell this story all the time, not until I did my first monologue where I actually got to speak words from this powerful character that I understood that, oh my goodness, I have such a powerful voice. And I did not have a clue until that moment. And then I was like, okay, theater is where I'm supposed to be, because if it's able to wake me up to realize that I've always had this voice, then what else is it going to expose? What else is it going to connect me more to myself than anything else off of the stage?
Y'all are beautiful.
Likewise. So that is the truth. It's easier for me to be vulnerable on stage than off stage.
Which is interesting because I don't know if you feel like this, but when I feel like that too, to a certain extent, but like it's hard for me to get there in rehearsal. Like I almost feel like I can get there better when I'm actually on stage. I mean, I obviously do the work to, to find those moments and those, that character, what that is needed. But, when I am on that actual stage, like there's something else that happens. Like there's a clicking moment.
It used to be that on stage. And I think now, even if I'm sitting down and reading the words, it's so weird because I'm like, I open up. And so certain things that I would think, oh my gosh, that's going to be hard. I mean, I just did a reading a couple of weeks ago where this character was navigating chemo, and she is explosive in her expression at talking about a television show, but it's because she has so much happening inside. And then that comes out of nowhere where she bursts into tears. And I was like, well, that's going to be hard. Okay. And sometimes I can do it and sometimes I can't. But in that moment, I was like, oh, I think I understand. And every single time it came every single time. I didn't have to force it. I just understood where the character was coming from. And so by my understanding and my empathizing with the character's circumstance, it opens me up to be able to convey it. Now, even if I'm sitting down reading the words.
Hey, that's amazing, actually.
So, I mean, there's still some times when I'm like, oh, she's just crying. You want me to do that? I don't understand why that moment.
Listen, you need to go back to your junior high self with Ms. Rose and be like, listen, I can get fake tears right now.
I mean, I could, but will you feel a thing? That's the thing. But
yeah,
I
still can't believe you did that.
I mean, I wanted to do it.
Especially like knowing, who you were back then too, and just how muted you were. The fact that you put yourself out there and said, I want to try this thing. I'll give you fake tears right now.
Yeah. The most brave thing.
I can be an actress.
Thanks, I know we're talking about our 18-year-old selves, but thanks 14-year-old Latoya at the time.
She would have been proud.
She would have. She is.
Well, yep, she is proud. I love that.
What's one piece of advice you wish she had taken seriously at 18? That taken seriously at 18? Mm-hmm. That it's something I still struggle with, the loneliness part and the aloneness of my letter. But I love that because I do have a very vivid memory of me writing in a letter to my classmates in high school, in my theater class, that lyric from Incubus, from Wish You Were Here, and being like, symbolizing that life is going to be a wild ride. And instead of being cautious to holding on to the bars, that putting your hands in the air and being open to what's coming to you, that's the real adventure. And I can say that my life has definitely been a very big adventure. And I think my little 18-year-old self had no idea that lyric would really manifest itself as what it is now. So, but I think it's the big thing too, is just trying to understand, what does loneliness mean to me and what does aloneness mean to me, and I wish that I could have expressed more about what that meant to me at the time.
Do you think you're, how do I ask this question? Do you think your 18-year-old self would be, how like I was saying, like I would have been mad at myself, on top of other feelings and stuff, like, do you think your 18-year-old self would have been upset too with like some of the things that you let yourself go through?
I mean, probably. I would like to think like, transitioning out of someone that you once were and moving forward into someone new, that those patterns wouldn't present itself again. And also, life is life once again, and human beings are human beings, and lessons that you think that you've learned, they come back for a reason. So, and like I said, in the you're going to face all these demons, but you're going to face it head on. And you're going to get lost again, and you're going to come out even stronger. So, yes and no. I think there's just the honesty of understanding that life will always life. It's how you show up in life to let it either defeat you or push you to grow.
Yeah. I like that. So what is a rule that you would have, like, if you could give yourself a rule to live by, as your 18-year-old self, what would it be? Like, you could give that to your 18-year-old self as yourself now. Like, what would be a rule that you give yourself back then?
A role?
A rule.
A rule. Oh, you would think that. Fucking drama geek. Replace the O with the U.
I feel like I'm vulnerable right now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're giving Candace all this love and I'm getting this.
No, stop.
So I would say, I don't know, shine on, I guess. I don't know. I guess in this moment I'm thinking of the sunflower because I love sunflowers. It's one of my favorite flowers and it's considered a weed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even from weeds, you get beauty. And so much like the storms, after a storm, you get beautiful skies. And sunflowers always face the sun and will always find the sun, even through a storm. And when everything goes away, you see the outcome of what a storm does. So I guess it would be just like shine on despite the storms that present itself and always look up towards the sun or towards some form of light.
Find the sun.
Find the sun.
Do you think your 18-year-old self would understand what you mean by that?
Absolutely.
Like, I know that. I know that, and I'm not even Latoya.
Even if no, I think I would take it literal. And then, no, I was very philosophical even back then.
Oh yeah.
So,
we wrote movie scripts and things like that. Like, you're just like, your imagination was so vivid. I remember that like very, very well. Like it's almost like you always had this director's mind.
I mean,
like literally a movie was always playing in your head.
it's true. There's always a movie playing in my head. I see movies all the time. People look at me and be like, and they'll say something, and I'm like, oh, it could be this and blah, blah, blah. And then this character comes in and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, what? How did you, what? And I'm like, that'd be a good movie. And everyone looks at me like I'm insane. And I'm just like, I don't know. It's just how my mind works. And that's just kind of what I see. So, and some of them are good ideas and some of them are not so great, but I still see them anyway. I know. I feel like I don't know. I'm struggling.
No, this is great. But I think that's good for you just to sit in moments like this. Because obviously it's something that you're still really uncomfortable with.
And there's growth in the uncomfortability.
But the fact that you're able to still let yourself go there, I think that's like, I hope you see and know like how huge that is.
Maybe that's a part of yourself you should explore more of.
I agree.
I mean, I am in therapy, so that's probably why I also feel very vulnerable because it feels very therapeutic right now. And when you start therapy again, it just kind of starts opening up those cracks again. So I feel like I am on that path of sitting in some uncomfortable feelings that I have.
Right.
And so, and yeah.
But you're sitting with them well.
Thank you.
I think it's interesting because when Candace, like, I feel with Candace, I feel I need to, when it comes to like terms of support, I feel I need to give you as much love and nourishment that I can give you. And then with you, I feel like I just need to let you talk. I don't know. I feel like that. But anyway, I don't know why I say that. But anyway.
Maybe that's something to explore more.
I think you guys should ask yourselves why.
Well, I know why you do that for me because I'm so damn sensitive.
Being sensitive isn't bad. I'm sensitive too.
I'm sensitive 3.
Yes, you are, as we're seeing right now.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing that I'm trying to because it is interesting how even in the letter, how it is a self-reflection even up now of how I've always felt like I've had to figure it out on my own. And that sometimes becomes really challenging when I actually really do need help. So that's the struggle that I have often, of having to know how to ask for help. Because even in those times that I've asked, it's been not received well. And so that taught me at a young age that why ask for help? I'm going to figure it out myself. Hence why I think you're accurate too, Sherelle, where you're like, you just figure it out. You just, get through the trudge and you figure it out. And I'm like, yeah, because I had to. And it taught me a pattern of, I know I can figure it out. Sometimes it takes me much longer to figure it out because the lesson is that I need to ask for help. And I've experienced it just recently where I'm like trying to cast a play and I'm coming up short. And for the last 3 weeks, I've been reaching out to everyone that I've known and gotten nowhere. And then I was like, I guess now I just need to ask for help. Let's see what happens. And now I have like 6 people reaching out to me and being like, hey, I know this person. Hey, I know this person. Da, da, da. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's obviously a lesson. Thank you. But I still have a very hard time asking for help.
I can't recall a time that you've asked us for help, but has there been a time where you felt like you asked us for help and we have rejected you in a way or made you feel any sort of negative for asking us?
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that? Do you feel comfortable enough to elaborate on that?
I mean, it's gonna get heavy. It's already heavy. Yeah, I mean, I'll be so transparent. Folks, I think I talked about it on here. I was once married and got a divorce, obviously, since I said once married. And I do feel like at that time when I was asking for help, I didn't receive it. And that was across the board from the family.
That's pretty fair.
So that is my truth. And I felt like during that duration of time, I had to trudge through the shit on my own. And I had to come out of the other side. And that was really hard. Really, really hard. So
I think about that quite often.
I do too, actually.
And I'm really sorry. I wish, and I definitely take full responsibility for it, but I wish that I was more mature to understand the gravity of what you were going through, because in my mind, you and your ex-husband, there was like no other path. And so I'm just like, dude, husband, that's ex-husband now, figure it out. Toya, figure it out, because like this is like together and not apart.
The goal.
Yeah. So I didn't like believe it. And I was just like, this is just a fucking face. And when he would talk to me about it, I was just like, you're fucking stupid. And then when you talked to me about it, I was just like, I don't think you understand like what's going on. So like, I just didn't fathom it. And I wish that I would have been your sister and not like someone who was projecting this image that I had onto you and be like, figure it out, figure it the fuck out. Because I definitely can understand why you would feel how you felt, because we weren't supportive. And I apologize.
thank you.
I don't even fucking cry.
Well, you obviously do. You don't.
I know, I'm really sensitive. I'm really fucking sensitive. I feel things. Candace and I are empaths, okay? And Latoya's an empath in her own way, okay?
I am. Well, as someone
We
when
just
I
show
worked
it
at
through
the
our emotions.
bookstore was like, I'm an empath and I'm an indigo girl, child. And I was like, that's nice. Are you going to take a break or not? Because I need to know if I need to take a break so I can get some food. Like,
Right.
I don't care. But that's nice that you know that.
Wait, that didn't make any sense what I said.
No, it did.
But an empath means I felt other people's emotions. In that particular situation, I did not feel Latoya's emotions. And that's why she felt what she felt.
Yeah, but
I-
being an empath doesn't,
You're not going to always.
you're not always going to do it.
Yeah, you're not going to always
Yeah.
get the cues.
That's
You're
right.
not going to always get it right. You know, and I think too, a lot of that too is like I'm looking a little bit more inward on stuff like this, where like I read into things too, and like for example, I mean, just let's be real, just before you started reading your little letter, you know, like no, let's be real though, you know, like I read into those things, and like when really it's like it wasn't anything,
Mm-mm.
you know. And so it's just interesting, but this is a different conversation, but, and you and I have had our conversation about, you know, marriage and stuff. And, but I also think the space that I was in personally with the Mormon church really had a big influence on the way that I did things. And I take full responsibility for sure. But there was a lot of like inner turmoil of like, you know, if I don't want this to happen to Latoya because this happened to me, and I don't want her going to hell because I'm going to hell because I've already divorced, you know, because we're not supposed to be doing stuff like that. And I thought I was saving you. When really I was just pushing you away. Sorry.
Damn, I'm making everyone cry today. I'm not trying to.
I know.
Okay. It's okay, sisters.
Is that something now that we're older? Is that something that you subconsciously hold against us?
No. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think it's interesting that's coming up in this conversation because I definitely talked about it in therapy today or this week. So, because we were self-reflecting on,
You better tell your therapist about this. You better fucking tell your therapist about this and how sorry we are.
I'm like,
that bitch is gonna make sure that we know that she knows that we are remorseful
and that we're really good
people. Also, it's really about y'all.
Oh, that's fucked up.
True.
That's fucked up. Anyway, keep going.
Thing though, I'll just say to her, I'm like, listen to the podcast. This is a scripted episode. This every Friday. Well, soon to be every Friday. But no, I don't. Here's the thing. It is something that we were talking, and she was like, we're trying to do more of, instead of journaling, we're trying to implement more of my art, doodling and stuff like that. So, and I haven't been able to do the assignment because there's just a lot of stuff happening right now. And so she was like, well, let's look at the words that I sent to you and she's like, which words stand out? And I told her, well, the first one was survival. And she was like, okay, are there any other words? And so I said this, and this, like it was like persist. What was another one that I can't recall? But all of them came back to, in my head, survival, you know. Resilience was one, like it all is survival, tactics, or tools. And so she goes, well, let's talk about like, when did you feel like you had to, like what scenarios like in your life did that happen? And she asked me for 3. And one of them was certain ones in my childhood, a college experience, and the divorce. And she goes, well, let's talk about the divorce. And that's what came up. And she goes, have you ever wanted to talk to your family about that? And I said, well, I don't know. And she was like, what do you mean I don't know? I said, I mean, yes, I do, but I also am hesitant. And she said, why? And I said, because I don't want to make anyone feel sad.
But that's our responsibility, not yours.
Yeah, I know, but I know our family, and we are sensitive people. And I'm naturally a person who holds space for people so they can feel their emotions and they can do what they need to do to also help their process of healing. Now, I understand that I need to do the same. I just don't have that practice in me as of yet. And I'm learning how to do that for myself. But that is already like the tools that I already know how to do. And so I kind of transition in my own need to express that it transforms into the need of others to express. And so I shift my energy into being a space of holding it so people can do that.
You know, it's interesting because when you say that, I noticed you doing that when we were when Cheryl started talking about like and taking accountability.
Mm-hmm.
I felt a shift.
That's what I do.
And yeah, that's interesting. Like I definitely felt that shift.
I feel like I'm probably speaking for Candace and I, but I don't like to speak for other people, so I'm probably just speaking for myself, but I feel like Candace is going to agree. At the end of the day, I am human, and I'm going to fuck up. And I won't always get it right. I hate crying. But I want you to feel comfortable to come to me whenever I'm not being your sister. The way that I feel I come, or the way that I feel I show up. Because obviously I think I'm fucking perfect, but I'm not. And a lot of times I need to be taught how I should show up when it comes to being more of a support system, especially for you. She can be difficult. Not like you personally difficult, but like understanding how to be there for you when you need something is difficult because, you don't really, it makes sense why you don't really vocalize what you need.
You just take care of it.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, obviously we'll go into the conversation, but like when you called me yesterday, I knew something was up because you don't call nobody.
Why don't you call me, bitch?
Because because she called me. Okay.
I already called too.
But
I'll be better about doing what do we call those?
A conference call?
A conference call.
Can we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please?
Oh, I actually would like that. But honestly, sometimes though,
I get it. You guys have your thing.
no,
We have our thing. Like I'll go to certain people for certain things.
see, and I think that's important though. It's kind of like with my kids. Like I can't always just have them as a unit together, the three of us. Like I have to have that time with each of my children individually. There's going to be things that me and Olivia hold together, space that Isaiah's not going to understand. And then vice versa, I'm not saying that Toya called me because you wouldn't be able to hold.
No, but I understand, like, you guys, like, I get there's a lot of things that I won't understand that you guys just click on. I get it. And that makes sense. And that's fine. Sucks, but it's just the reality of the situation.
But I think, honestly, I mean, and you can answer this question. It's not even really a question, but like, I don't know, like, who knows? You could have called. It could have gone either way. You could have called Sherelle. You could have called me. But you called me, and I knew something was up because you called me. Like you don't call.
I know.
And like, and no, and I'm not saying that to make you feel guilty.
No, I know.
Like you don't call because you're always busy. You're always taking care of yourself. And so I was like, and this is gonna be me being real transparent right now. So, but part of me was like, dang, I gotta go to bed. But I was like, Toya does not call. Answer that damn phone.
I get that. Yeah.
So I'm just being real.
No, I appreciate it.
But I'm just so happy that we spoke. And like, I'm just grateful that you called.
I can be better about it. I sound like a robot. Sometimes I feel like a robot, but not really, but I do. And I can always be better about it. It's just, it's hard it's really hard to shift out of a practice I've been doing for over 20 years.
Yep.
So definitely recognize it. And I'm definitely working through it to understand how to carve a different pattern and, So hence this like letter reveals so much of just like self survival. That's what my little 18-year-old self was trying to survive and trying to find a corner in the sky that felt like it
was yours.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us for part 2 of Letters to Our 18-Year-Old Selves, a journey of reflection. We can't wait for you to listen to part 3, where our youngest sister, Sherelle, reads her letter and reflects on her own journey, growth, and lessons along the way. Make sure you're following us on all the socials at Sistas Unscripted, so don't miss out on the next episode. You can also email us at sistasunscripted@gmail.com with your topic ideas, comments, and shout-outs, or you can text us and leave us a voice message at 801-989-3226. If you've enjoyed this episode, please rate the podcast and leave us a review. It helps us to continue connecting with listeners and viewers just like you. We love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Sistas out.